Bucko, mighty Bucko, hello, and welcome. Welcome back. A couple of Columbo monologues. You may well enjoy this. Okay, you're going to have to help me out, do a little bit of imagining. Right, you know Lieutenant Columbo from the long-running series. I'll just get into character. Okay, so Houses of Parliament is going up to address, or rather to investigate the opposition party with Starmer and all them. Right, here we go. So, Houses of Parliament, door with the opposition party's room written on it. Columbo knocks on the door. The noise stops and there is silence, but no one opens the door. Columbo knocks on the door again. There are whispers. Then there is silence. Columbo pushes open the door. Columbo.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, sir. Lieutenant Columbo, LAPD. Sorry to disturb you all. Mrs. Columbo tells me you all work so hard in opposing the Conservative government and the tyranny they've caused since early 2020. Unfortunately, we have a little problem. A spine has been found. And not only that, but we believe that someone's been stealing a living for the past 3 years, possibly longer. Furthermore, we believe that someone in this very room knows who the spine belongs to. Now, can I start with you, Mr. Starmer? Where were you? Where were you between the years 2020 to the present day, sir? And what did you do to halt the mandates that were clearly against anything the Labour Party ever stood for?
Keir Starmer mumbles something quickly, which sounds close to Charlie the Cat from the old 1970s TV ads, which is completely inaudible. Columbo.
Okay, sir. We'll come back to that in just a moment. I can see it's troubling you. Now, ma'am, you're Caroline Lucas, I believe. When you said we need to build back better, which was a mantra used by several leading world figures who all have connections to the World Economic Forum, what did you mean by that?
Like a squeaky mouse or dog toy, Caroline Lucas squeaks something inaudible.
Columbo. Okay, ma'am, you're not making much sense. I'll come back to that later.
The cartoon sound of feet running away can be heard.
Columbo. Oh, hold on 1 minute there, Mrs. Sturgeon. I have one question for you also. We don't know if this spine is English or if it's got a tartan pattern running through it. But I have to ask you, ma'am, why did you lock down Scotland harder than the English? I always thought that you had the Scots' welfare at your heart, ma'am.
Nicholas Sturgeon, wearing a Jimmy Cranky mask and voice.
Oh, it can't be my spine. Oh, I was sitting in the man's caravan drinking whiskey for 3 years and dreaming about the plans. Oh, aye, they were better days. Aye, it was fun, dabby dozy. Oh, can't stand the English, don't you know, bonny lad? I wouldn't take or steal anything that was English.
Columbo.
That's the thing, ma'am. We don't know what nationality the spine was. Who knows? It could have been Welsh. And by the way, where is Mr. Drakeford?
Low whispering can be heard.
Columbo, I see you've all been quiet for 3 years. Why would any of you start talking now?
Columbo starts to walk out of the door before stopping and turning back.
Columbo, just one more question. I've been asking myself, why do people vote for you lot? For the little you've done in the past 3 years. You've all been invisible. It's also clear there is more than one spine that's been missing since 2020. The question is, where's all the other missing spines hidden? But one thing's for sure, just like the cowardly custard Austrian actor once said, I'll be back.
Okay. This one is entitled Too Quick for Columbo. Picture it if you will. Hotel room. Columbo wanders into a room. Columbo is always very good at capturing criminals, but this time he outdoes himself when he accidentally stumbles across a murder that's in progress. Columbo, putting his hand over his eyes.
Sorry, sir. Please don't turn around. No. I'll turn around.
Columbo turns around.
I can see that you're in the middle of a homicide. The thing is, I'm Lieutenant Columbo from LAPD. Well, this is a bit embarrassing to say the least, sir. I'll have to leave the room.
Columbo closes the door behind and starts communicating through the closed door. Columbo.
The thing is, sir, I usually solve the crime after it's been committed, not while it is in progress. Oh, gee, I've outdone myself, sir. Maybe I'll come back when you've finished doing what you're doing. To be honest, I don't see too much anyway. I mean, you had your back to me, sir. All I saw was you wearing a thick navy sweater and black balaclava. Now, on first sight, you looked slightly muscular, so I thought you must be a man. But for all I know, sir, you might be a trans woman, swimmer, or a weightlifter. I really feel, sir, silly, sir, or ma'am. The thing was, I was looking for Mrs. Columbo and the dog. They seem to have wandered off. Well, you know what Mrs. Columbo's like, sir. No one ever sees her. Not even me. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. I'm sure I'll work out how you committed the crime when you leave a subtle but stupid clue behind. Or you trip yourself by telling me from the off that you were somewhere else and you got an alibi. Why would anyone do that, sir? Of course, I could just gather a few tenuous clues from the murder scene and point the finger at the first B-list Hollywood actor who happens to be related to the homicide, who happens to be in this week's episode. Anyway, sorry for disturbing you, sir or ma'am.
Columbo turns to walk away, then turns back smiling. Columbo.
Oh, one more question. If that's you in there, Patrick McGowan or Jack Cassidy or Robert Culp, well, maybe you can make the murder a bit more difficult for me to solve this time. Oh well, I'll carry on looking for Mrs. Columbo and the dog. I'll give you another 30 minutes before I return. Oh, ma'am, sir, or ma'am. Gee, I've outsmarted myself this time. I think I'll go and get a bowl of chili and crackers. Columbo exits. And with that, be seeing you.